Welcome back to the action in the Algarve. The sun is beating down here on the fluffy golden sands of the Praia da Rocha. My name is Hannah Pendlebury. I'm joined in the booth this afternoon by the delightful Raquel Toshnerova. Rachel, how are you doing today?
I am so excited for the finals, Hannah, and so excited to be commentating one of them with you, and especially this great experience women's master final. We've got Spain on one side, Denmark on the other side. They will start on offense, and I'm so ready to go.
Yes, indeed. So extremely talented sides, both advancing to this gold medal matchup. The Danes in white and the Spanish in navy blue, as we see an early mistake from the Danish players, giving Spain an early opportunity for a break. We see a crosswind near side to far side of the pitch as the handler set get underway. Stacked fairly deep, but seems to be managing to find some good flow now to the Spanish women's team. Motis on the disc. Nice tumble to the ground by Bros, keeping it alive for her team. Sporting an excellent tank top look. Hammer up into the air, it's gonna sit and hang. Under it is the 31 shirt, Davis.
Great awareness by Davis there.
Yes, definitely with a nice visor. Keeping the sun out of her eyes, centered in the field again. And that's a lovely punch into the end zone. First score going to the Spanish. A break into the hands of Lara Lopez.
Great pressure by the Danish on the mark. Almost a little bit of bumping, but no hesitation from the Spanish there. They didn't get thrown off and just went immediately for the quick break, quick score. Beautiful quick dish into the open side, finding the intended receiver. The
American there, Diane Davis, just seemed to be completely alone in the center of the field after we saw that big huck come up. Just good give going between the handlers and then punching it in. First point on the board.
I can't believe that hammer. I mean, it wasn't a bad choice, actually, in the previous games, but the had been in the previous games. But the wind has picked up quite a bit for this Masters Women's Final.
Certainly has. The last time these two teams met earlier on in the tournament was a pretty tight one. The Spaniards worried about the Danish zone. Danes looking right now to try and play both the short and the long game, keep things nice and varied, as we see another error and just a little concentration as the wind catches the edge of the disc. Ria Linda not able to keep that one in the hands, and so another opportunity for the Spanish. Senya doing a little bit of juking on the handler cut. She'll be replaced by the number 9 Monclus. Pick downfield, as we see on the far side, Diaz del Rigo Lago. Very, very free.
Clara Chamorro, one of the defensive handlers right now on the pitch. She started with the disc. She spent 3 months with disc flyers in Odense, so she spent some time in Denmark. So maybe she will have some inside knowledge of the other team.
Ah, a spy, Rachel. A spy in this women's Masters final.
Oh, and she was the one with, together with Hema, to start the national women's team back in 2011.
Oh, fab. Well, nice to see her now from the other side of the field, facing the monster she created, the Denmark team, who now capitalize on a Spanish error. Great heads-up play from Helle Kjærsgaard. Finds the inside channel but fails to execute the intended target of Müller, who will now put on the mark. Another inside from the Spaniards this time. Fakes the high pop. Be surprised to see her release that in this win, but she's going to have to do something to get her reset out. And she does. Great work. Isolated play, and that's a nice, easy score for Spain. 2 breaks in a row. They currently lead 2-0.
Bravo with the score. Age 34, occupation lawyer. Good to see some fellow lawyers on the field.
Oh, are you illegal?
Yeah. I'm not very proud of it, but anyway. She's only been playing for 6 years, so that means she started when she was 28. I mean, what a career, right? To get straight into the Women's Masters final. Congratulations on that. We will also say hi to some of the fans watching at home. Boquerones teammates, Gonzalo, Fermín, Carolina, Marina, Igor, Fran, y Alfonso.
And if you are with us live on this Women's Masters final, please do get in touch. You can reach us on Twitter I'm at DiscGal31. If you want a shout out, perhaps you might be related to one of these wonderful ladies on the pitch. I was talking to the Danes earlier. They were saying that they've had some women who have just become Masters eligible, but plenty of lovely children back home. Great to see these ladies returning to pitch, and that's a big shot from the Danes. And now, good movement around the back. Spain did say they were worried about the big shots from the ladies in white.
They have switched to man defense, coming into this point in a zone.
Nice trust in the upline cut with the defender in front. That's 2 lead passes, and just a little lack of concentration once more from the Danes. Rachel, it just really seems like perhaps the ladies of Denmark haven't managed to put their heads on their shoulders yet.
Exactly, that is my feeling as well, that there's just not enough concentration and, as we like to say, head in the game from the Danish. However, there's 2-0 is, you know, in this wind, anything can happen. So if they can get the D early on right now.
I think you've called it there, Rachel. The wind definitely a factor in this gold medal game. As you see a big shot of the Spanish team, they have a go at playing a little bit of huck game, but just tails to that far side of the pitch. The sun is beating down at our backs, Rachel. This is probably the hottest we've seen it all week. Do you think that favors the Spanish team right now?
Oh, it might actually. I can't imagine the Danish get too much hot weather practicing for the beach.
Well, at least not in the run-up. We're still only in May. Summer still yet to come. And the captain of the Denmark team, player coach, Ruiz Mbay, who does have, we're talking about children earlier, she has I believe two boys who are absolutely adorable and occasionally make a guest appearance at beach tournaments. As the intended target there, the number 19, Ingrid Helmod, she really just didn't have any good position. I couldn't even see the disc there, Rachel.
I was not sure what was happening. It almost looked like she was trying to get a D.
My thoughts exactly. Very bizarre, but we'll now see a great field position, almost the brick mark for Spain, as they look to take another break and really just shut the Danes out. Nice work upfield. Good reaching grab for Gomez. She's going to launch it, and there is a bid from the knees. Lara Lopez gets her second score of the game. Spain now lead 3 breaks clear of the Danes, 3-0.
Well, now it's getting interesting because 3 breaks, that is not how you want to start your final. That's not how you want to start your sort of star moment.
Yeah, that is not how you want to appear on the arena field. We've not had that many games streamed during this week from the Women's Masters division. We had one between Germany and Great Britain that was very spicy indeed. Lots of big puts from Great Britain that Germany seemed to just snaffle with a great sense of ease. Looking at the earlier game between these two teams, Rachel, what was the scoreline like?
Oh, so they were basically just trading points most of the time, and then eventually Spain took the lead at taking halftime, right? And then just took the game from the halftime on.
So they saw them charge away latter stages when these two teams initially faced off in pool play. Now seeing a great shot from the Danish, and that is more like it. First blood taken for the Danes. They fight back with a big put to Lisbeth Muller.
Linda with the assist, 39 years old. She's a physiotherapist she comes from Odense, but lives in Copenhagen. And what should we look out for? She said she was told that she runs fast, but she apparently knows how to throw it as well.
Well, that's always good. The thing about these sort of more mature players is we see a pitch invasion from an adorable little fan there. We've been saying all week, one of the great things about this tournament here is having the more mature divisions bringing the sideline support from the adorable tiny humans in their little national jerseys that are so tiny.
Super cute. Also, I should definitely highlight that the Danish team, I have passed one of the pitches earlier at this tournament, and these 3 Danish kids were just buried in the sand. That you could just see their heads.
Oh, that is really cute.
It was, I mean, the Danish know how to do it, right? You just pretend that it's the best game in the world, and then the children just don't get lost. They just stay where you put them.
Indeed.
And another big hug from the Spanish, and defeat denied.
Denied indeed.
By the Danish.
Sophie Kruger just taking that one out of the sky with the double glove look. Nice lead pass into the handler. Has three options deep immediately, of which she can hit none. Big pressure from the number 5 from Spain, Distler. Nice swing from the Danes. It's going to be a little bit of a reach. Stumbles to the knees, does Ingrid Hell. Again, we see the Danes looking for that lead pass. She gives up on it. I thought that she was going to run that one down.
It did sort of like, she had no idea it was going to slow down like that, but great effort from Eline Ness.
Yeah. And she was running, the wind just seemed to drop there and then just came back in full force. But the Spanish give it up fairly easy. Diane
Yeah, the
Davis
forehand
tumble.
inside, not the right choice in this downwind throw.
Oh, and that's a nice put out into the space. The inside break from Ellis Ness back. And that is another point on the board. The first break back for the Danes. Spain still leading the score 3-2.
Eline Ness with the assist, number 1. She is a physician / doctor. She has recently entered the Masters division because she's only 31. And she's already got a lot of international tournaments under her belt. She played Danish women in EUC 2011, EBUC 2013, and then in London 2016, which was her debut year in the Masters division. And she says that the highlight of her ultimate career was winning the outdoor and indoor Danish nationals.
Well, that's a fabulous highlight indeed. They say their goal was to make the top 3, do the Danes. They've certainly achieved that one by making it, well, into this final match here on the sand in Praia da Rocha. So Spanish furiously undercutting, but great poaching in the lane from the number 9 of Denmark.
Beautiful switches.
Senye going to the knees. She plays her ultimate in London for geometrically frustrated magnets. Another player from that side found in the Portugal mixed squad who were on this pitch earlier. Not quite coming away with the medal as the Spanish put up an absolute shocker of a throw. That just hit the wind. And we see the cap thrown into the sand from Lucia Bravo.
Yeah, Bravo just wanted to rip that one down the sideline, but it's just a direct upwind throw right now. So difficult to keep that forehand.
Well, and with this crosswind,
Straight,
it's that, you can almost imagine feeling it in your hand with the wind just underneath it, forcing the disc up.
Oh, great save from Linda.
And Danes, players all over the field tumbling to the floor as we see an attempt from the clap catch from BULA. Just loses grip and the disc will hit the deck. So
if the Spanish can't score this upwind point, that would definitely give them the upper edge. But if this feels like an important point in the game, because if the Danish can finish the score downwind, that might bring them back in the game.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen very early stages. Still just about 15 minutes have expired as we see a valiant attempt at an up-the-line layout from the number 11.
Linda wide open in the end zone, but
doesn't see her clearly, and that's a good snaffle up. The number 9 gobbles up the trash that's thrown into the air.
This is turning into a really long point for the women on the pitch. And a call on the field.
And what impact is that going to have, this one lengthening out, Rachel?
Well, I would advise the Danish women to sort of get it away from their own end zone if they can't run anymore, and then hope that the Spanish will eventually get more tired going upwind. But great effort so far. I have seen some of the Danish women in their swimsuits, or as the Australians say, the bathers. I've just learned that recently. And it's just incredible. I mean, how muscular can you get after 2 kids? Apparently very.
Yeah, fantastic to see women in the Masters division having families, doing it all, having kids. There have been a strong showing. Credit to Great Britain's. So the men who are coming to support their female partners, do you know what it says on their pass, Rachel?
No.
Babysitter.
Aww.
I'm a big fan of that. So Spaniards, another opportunity to rip open this game with a big backhand. Lucia Aguera, bravo, what a backhand indeed that was.
That was quite a throw. I mean, it seems like a plain IO backhand, but in this wind, just unbelievable. The distance and precision it had, very impressive.
And so the Spanish definitely a big target here. One of the favorites coming into the Women's Masters division. In fact, Denmark actually put them not at the top of the list. Swedes at the top of the list of rivals for the Danes, being obviously a little bit closer to home. But Spanish women certainly plenty of high-level beach tournaments in their own home nation. Just looking up to see, checking who they actually put out of contention respectively, but we'll bring you that information very shortly as play gets back underway. Danes on the disc. Finds the captain, Mbaye. Nice punch through the middle of that Spanish zone look. Spain talking about how Denmark had put an effective zone on them. So clearly coming out with a look of their own. That's a great shot to that far sideline. Players need to streak through now. We'll see a transition to person defense from Spain. Mbaye on the mark, fakes lots of insides, not many undercuts, just floats it to the far end of the end zone.
What a put! What a put by number 10.
Louise Mbaye, that was saucy.
What a forehand dealing, straight into the forehand side where she had the open player. Oh, look at the kids running down, cheering for Denmark. I'm pretty sure those are exactly the ones that I saw in the sand.
Yeah,
they just like to run a lot.
We're gonna have to go for you guys at home of the adorable pitch invasions that are happening throughout this match.
But the Spanish defensive zone, not very effective among the Danes, against the Danes. They worked through it quite quickly, and taking into account this was an upwind point, it was such clean, nice offense without a turnover.
It really was, and you have to say, like when they moved from transition back to person defense, Rachel, Spanish looked a lot better. To be honest, that was a bit of a risky biscuit from Mbaye. Had to be absolutely perfect to hit the space she wanted. Thankfully for Denmark, she's a very handy thrower indeed. So Spain now, cuts available, double cut causes confusion initially, but good communication from the women in dark blue. A nice layout bid, keeping the disc alive. Monklus across the field, big backhand, it's gonna sit and float, not quite enough power on that, but a tumble to the sand.
An experienced look though.
Yeah, definitely. I thought she hadn't put quite enough on it, but actually that sat almost perfectly to where it needed to go. Danes looking a little static.
Confusion on the in-cuts.
Oh, we've seen that from both sides. Clearly the defense and the Sun working together to just mess with the heads. And there is an overthrow as that goes almost directly into the wind. A tricky shot.
The Danes need to do a better job of getting it further away from the end zone. If you don't score, at least you make the Spanish offense work a lot harder to get the disc all across the field.
Oh, nearly a stutter there, but Cabrera connects for the score. That's now, well, I'm just waiting for the volunteer far side to change it. That's 5-3 to Spain. They currently lead by 2 breaks, with the Danes only having to manage to scrape back 1 thus far.
So maybe a little insight on this Spanish team. They did go to Royan together. That was their first tournament. They finished 7th, I believe. So quite a progress for them to be in today's final. They are very excited, of course, to make it thus far, but they did have decent expectations in terms of all the Spanish teams being in the finals, or at least contenders for the medal.
Yeah, I believe I remember people saying that they'd gone to the Cremas Beach Cup, but Barcelona, scene known for its women's ultimate of a very high standard. We talked about the teams knocking out the other favourites earlier on. The Danes took the dream away from Sweden, 12-10, and the Spanish dispatched GB in sudden death. And there is a great read from the #1 for Denmark. Elin Leis Beck with the score.
And more Danish kids celebrating.
Oh, there we go. Finally got the shot for you fans at home. Speaking of, hello to Aoife Delaney supporting Marie Senier. We already mentioned who plays for the London team, Geometrically Frustrated Magnets. That being a mixed team, great to see her in the women's masters division here as these two teams battle it out for a gold medal. The score now 5-4, Spain leading.
If the Danes can rip one nice forehead away from their end zone, I think it would make it so much easier for them to eventually get the downwind break. I do understand that the wind direction changes a little bit, but at the same time, they have generated turnovers, but never managed to get it further than their own half. Basically.
We've seen that actually a lot in the mixed division, making the what we would refer to, I guess, as the field positioning style of offense. It's the high risk, high reward shots that are going to basically, if you do manage to fail to connect with the longer passes, it just means that you still have the rest of the field to play defense and try and get the disc back. If you're giving away those short field opportunities, you're going to get punished.
So the Spanish taking it to the brick.
Indeed, the ball landing out of bounds. The little white marks on the tape, but there is an error. Golden opportunity for the Danes. The disc is going to go up. Can she read it? Yes, she can. That is a break of score. They're within 1 break of the Spanish now. The Danes celebrate in emphatic style.
Linda just being huge for this team. What a smart move from the Danes to start with a straight up mark, sort of take away everything and play real hard, and that pressure on the D got the turn they wanted. And then with a little bit of aiming and concentration, they just put up that backhand. And it's the break. It's what they were looking for.
So a slow start from the Danes. Suddenly
right.
Now we're seeing them find a bit of energy. What do you think's been the cause of that?
Well, I just think it might be the experience. I mean, if you have played a couple of international tournaments, you know all the situations that can come up, and you just know that unless you keep mentally strong and keep working, you know, you have lost your game before it started.
And it is nice to see them come back as the Danes will come down in a person. Match defense, look. Bay on the mark, and there is a complete miscommunication. So disappointing for the Spanish. I believe the intended target was Lara Lopez, but I don't think she was expecting the disc whatsoever. Bay goes up into the center of the field, a nice inside lead shot. What throwing prowess and a grab, the snag. We're back on serve.
Well, Lopez did get a hand on that. That was really tight, great person defense. However, if they can let the Danish rip off that easy, not easy, but they make it look easy, the inside forehand, you know, that's just such an advantage in the break side, open person, and no matter how close you are on the cutter, it's too difficult, too difficult. Well, we do have a couple of minutes, so I want to make sure we shout out again to all the ladies out there that are currently not sure if they want to try commentating. You definitely should. There's just been a call for bids for all the commentators at the EUF website. So please come, please join us, please sign up. We don't want just, you know, you don't have to be the perfect commentator. You don't have to speak perfect English. We don't want the Brits and Irish to take over. And we definitely would like more women to commentate, not only female games, but also the open games, mixed games.
Yes, let's get some more women in Ultimate Media. I have to say, Rachel, it's been a delight to have you with us in the booth, and really enjoying this game. My tongue is actually swollen at the back. I can feel it grating against my molars, but I'm going to power through in this women's match.
But otherwise, it's not a hard job, guys.
Oh, no, it's great. This is the best seat in the house. This is the best job at this tournament. As we get to watch these scenes, a reach from the Danes, the Spanish get it back in their hands. They need a conversion so desperately here. They need to hold this offensive point to try and stop the momentum of the Danes. Furious, pivoting in the sand. Has the around option. Doesn't really take it. Not really much developing upfield. High pressure, but a good reel. Got a little bit of that, the end of that disc, I think, did Linda. Player signaling to get a new disc from the volunteers. Thank you ever so much again to our volunteers for your tireless efforts, as we see a little bit of a duck call too late.
It's okay, guys. The ping disc is a lot softer. I call it the ladies disc. It's really comfortable on the hands.
Not that we need that as female players. Oh, and there is a high pressure, high stall situation for the Spanish. And again, the Danes with the disc in their hands. Opportunity to break free from the Spanish.
Oh, no.
That was the right words. Oh, no.
The Danish going back to their original short passes, even though they're going down. They just need to rip one off.
I feel this win rate really picking up, making it so difficult for these women to get the disc. Now it goes in front. There is a score for Spain. A little bit of a
for Spain.
Chat on the mark, though. I think there might have been an offensive foul. The big form of Marie Senier. Just perhaps moving the mark.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely an offensive foul on the mark. Sort of you can see the replay. I was going to...
And our Mike tries to... Okay, so that offensive foul. We see contested the hand signal and the words from Marie Senier there. So contested offensive foul. It's going to come back in stalling 6. Lots of navy blue shirts surround the disc with their white compatriots. Everyone ready? Marie sits in that around position. Pivot extended, so much furious cutting. Oh! Senye takes a heck of a bump with the Danish player, who just happens to be caught in the crossfire. And there we go, the Spanish get back on the board after suffering 3 in a row from the Danes.
Important hold for the Spanish. I have noticed, not so much in the end zone, but more like deeper in the field, that they do tend to cluster around the disc quite a bit. It's sort of the one team that does it really well are the Colombians. Just, you know, apparently spreading out is not as necessary for them. They're comfortable in tight, small spaces, just moving the disc quickly, which is correct though. The team on the beach who moves the discs a bit quicker usually wins.
I think, to be honest, quick disc movement on any surface is really the key to playing great offense. But a great pull, central field position on the goal line. Can the Spanish push the Danes back deeper into perhaps even Callahan territory? Already seeing one of those earlier on this arena field. Great work from the Danes, advancing now a bit more smoothly. Smooth swing passes. Again, the throwing abilities of Umbe, but she's poached off. And that is a lovely bit of work from the Spanish, but too hot-headed, the number 28, Gemma Perez Gomez.
What a look from Gomez there.
Yeah, a nice idea, just really not the execution she would have hoped for.
That's right, but look at the Spanish thinking forward, sort of, you know, they got the D and then put it straight back into the end zone, so now the Danes have to go the full field again.
They do, and as the wind really starts to pick up, you can see the flags fluttering. It's been so still in the earlier stage of the day, but there is an error from Mbaye. Spain with a very, very short field to work the disc in. Can they punch it? Up goes the roll curve. The bid comes, but it just tumbles out of the fingertips. Lara Menin Lopez.
Great aggressiveness from the Spanish. And the Danes just struggling to get the forehand off, I understand. But like I said, maybe not, you don't want to lose the disc on the dump.
Just play a little bit of huck and D. I suppose if you roll curve it out far enough, you might be able to get some hang time for the field position. Mbaye yelling at her teammates as everyone seems to be so far deep, but she breaks aggressively. That is how you break a mark on that far sideline. This goes back. I think there's a cool bit of contact on the mark. Players will reset to their positions when that happened. Danes really need to move it to this strong side of the pitch. Enlist that third handler who's ever ready and very poached off, so she can maybe be aggressive on that pass if she needs to be. Again, moving to that far downwind side. Nearly miscommunicated. What a great catch. Far side opens up the arm, and that's going to be into the sand. Once again, we see a bit of last pass syndrome now in this women's Masters gold medal match.
But at the same time, the Danes doing a great job sticking to their system. They have punched in quite a few of upwind points. So unless the Spanish can somehow get them, it shouldn't be a problem to eventually make it down to the end zone.
Well, to be honest with you, Rachel, I'm not sure I describe that as an upwind, as we see the Spanish getting under, backing each other up, these high discs sitting, the wind pummeling the players and the disc, near side to far side, as you see the view on your screens now. Good movement, but static downfield will be peeled off by Ellen Nies-Beck.
Ness just being huge for her team. Just throwing, catching all over the place, getting the Ds.
Yeah, she emerged out of nowhere like the Loch Ness Monster and tipped the disc straight to the floor.
So once again, ladies, a gentle reminder, if you're currently injured or having a kid or in the, you know, just
like
team
it.
that you
want to talk, want to be, if you want to be on the microphone, the role is very much up for grabs. We are in need of more female commentators. I cannot express how much fun it is to come to these championship tournaments, get to see all of the best games. Such exciting scenes here on the arena. All of the coverage we brought you this week will be available also on the WFDF live stream. Sorry, the YouTube page.
The YouTube
and
page,
you can
that's
also
right.
catch Miss Toshnelovan's games as well. You can see her in action. There will be plenty more opportunities later on in the season to get involved with our coverage. There's EUC in Hungary, the Youth Championships in Wrocław, the Under-24 Championships. So much ultimate, so much
That's
tape.
right, and then there's the Masters in Madrid, so maybe you've always wanted a nice vacation in Spain with ultimate, without the kids, without the husband. Just come join us. You don't have to be a native English speaker, remember, because I make mistakes too, and nobody cares.
We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. I've had moments this week where I've forgotten what the end of my sentence is. But to focus our attention back on this final in the women's Masters division, the Danes versus the Spanish. Timeout call from Denmark as we saw Ness Beck getting involved, Ho Chi D. And what do we reckon? Oh, a perfect conversion out of that timeout. Now they've had a rest.
They've got the perfect position. They're right in the middle of the field. They have scored the upwind points. So I believe in them.
You believe in them. All right, well, hopefully they hear you. Danes with the disc. Score currently even Stevens, 6 apiece in the arena field. Danes' opportunity needs to hold this one. It's theirs for the taking. The wind has died. Opens up the inside channel. Oh, it's so close to a score, but no dice as the 34 Richter just pulls herself out of the sand.
I can very much feel the energy from the field. These Masters women just being so excited to be there, just enjoying every point, every show. They know it's going to be a tight game, and I can feel the great energy coming from them.
And to remind ourselves of that match, it was neck and neck pretty much all the way last time. So we're in a very familiar position in terms of these teams. They were at level pretty much until the very dying moments of that second half. And another block for Ness.
She picks it right away.
Great heads up again. She's going to launch it. Mbaye under it. Tasty little bit of casual footwork. I love that spike.
Oh my God, I think that's 3 assists and 1 score for Ness Beck. I bet her, was it her with the kids?
I think there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, 2 kids. Her husband is playing for the men's Masters team, and they have 2 kids together. I hope they're watching and they're very excited for the great job Mom's doing on the field. Yeah, great hard work.
My favorite bit that Ness Beck has given us is the fact that she's put in all caps, there are too many people who are her heroes in the ultimate scene to name just one, and that's been such a delight to see across the divisions. The heroes who are community members here on the sand in Portimao, just displaying what they do best here in the sun. Again, we see the wind picking back up. You'll just hear it on the microphones as that ripples across the microphone mufflers. So you hear the chant of defense, the crowd firmly behind the Danes right now. But Spain looking a little bit like they need a reset. There it is. De Damases fakes a nice pop up. I love that release to Mongles.
The Spanish had an open player in the end zone,
but
they knew better than to
traffic.
throw it to her.
That was a lovely bid from the number 23, Cabrera. Spain are tumbling all over the field right now. Danes pushing them to the very limits of what they're capable of catching. Oh, and there's a cheeky bit of separation.
And Cabrera with the score, which might get called back. A little bit of discussion, explanation.
What do you think the call was there?
Contested foul.
Because initially they were making the hand signal for a stall out. So perhaps,
yeah, or injury. I think that was just somebody resting their arms on their head.
We've seen a lot of unclear hand signals in the form of people not remembering that retracting a call is the palms facing downwards. Of course, uncontested call is palms facing upwards. So Spain back with the disc in the hand of Nuria Martinez Monclus, or Monclus, I guess. Nice pop back. Spain really needs to move lattice laterally, which they do. Good central field position. They need to move it towards this strong side. Oh, and they do with a ripper of a backhand. These inside backhands find Angela Diaz de Rio Lago.
Well, I would also like to highlight the work of De Dalmases. She's with 3 assists herself, and the handler work she's doing, it's incredible.
Well, tell me what you like about it. What do you like about her handler?
She just seems so safe and so chilled, even with this wind. Sort of like getting the disc, and I'm not scared that, you know, there's going to be a throwaway. She just always seems to see the field in its full width, and she's got the throws to put it anywhere. So just really stable, safe, secure handler.
And so coming out of the half, Spain get their first point on the board. The score is 7 each as we see the Spain D-line. And now we see the wind is now moving in the other direction. It is completely messing with the heads of these players. We're now ever so slightly left to right, diagonally, still largely across the field as we see Nesbeck. Nice work in the hand of set. Nesbeck again. Good coverage of Mbaye, who's going to tumble backwards with her single.
Pick goal downfield.
Oh yes, indeed.
Well, the Danish do have quite a bit of height advantage.
Say height advantage?
The
height advantage.
Oh.
There's no hate here on the pitch.
No
Only
hate.
love.
No hate, sorry.
But that was a D that I loved very much. Number 2, Maria Bros, able to get up and take advantage of that Danish confusion. This is really good give going from the women in Navy. Just really calm. Lots of opportunities on the open side, and that is a great score. Lara Lopez reeling it in for her 3rd score of the game.
And this is where the difference has been so far. The Spanish just recognizing the opportunities where they are. I mean, they get the D and they basically just move the disc forward, getting a little bit of slow down here in the middle where they moved the disc sort of upwind so that they could score a little more easily with the backhands. And the Danish just not putting enough pressure on to stop that movement. Great smart play from the Spanish.
Could not have said it better myself, Rachel. Really is moving the disc to the strong side of the field, as some might call it, the upwind side. So valuable. It's hard ask sometimes, but by allowing the use of the backhands, that's the big thing.
A bit more fun on the field.
Yeah, see if we can get a shot of that for you.
Volunteers catching the parasol. Just leave it there, you know? Let the players have some shade as well.
As Well, that's a great evidence to the fact that it is windy as it gets here on the beach in Praia da Rocha. It is sunny too, as we see a big backhand pull from Marie Senye at number 88 for Spain. Kiersgaard will pop it back. Central field position. Oh, and a run through D, heavy coverage. Not really sure why that option was taken. Player never seen free.
So I think we're in the last minute of the game.
Well, last minute of regulation time. Can Spain recover that? They cannot. So, at the moment, Spain lead 8-7. Can we see the Danish doing the same thing of using the strong side? That's going to sit and hang, but just a little too far.
Linda striking deep right after the defense. That was what we wanted to see. I think it was a great option, great choice. The throw just a little too short. But I think this is a much better option than losing the disc by your own end zone. So the time is over now. So once we finish the point, we will add one to see where the cap's going to be.
Indeed we shall. And there is a tap of the disc gone awry off the hand of Inge-Marie Grayson. Helle looks for the around, eventually finds it to Mila. Fakes the inside channel. Here's her teammate calling for her under. Willende available for the swing pass. It's going to be squeezed into the channel, and that levels it up. 8 apiece, we'll confirm it for you, but I think this one might just have gone to Universe.
Draxted doing an incredible work for her team on that point. Just open cuts all around. She's 42 years old. I mean, how much more can you do for your team in this super important point? Her family's watching, her husband and 2 kids. I'm sure they're super proud of their mama right now.
And so we've confirmed with our wonderful volunteers downstairs doing a tireless effort of keeping everything in order here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Universe point finish between these two teams. Shape of the game has been largely initially in favor of the Spanish, but we've seen the Danes dig deep, almost as deep as the holes they place their children into to keep them safe during their earlier games. They've dug deep, and they're now so close. Their D-line just has to get one block and convert, but the Spanish will have something to say in response.
The pool goes up when we couldn't have wished for more with Hannah at this afternoon Friday game. Women's Masters, this is the Universe point.
So, furious fakes to the inside channel. Can the next monster get it again? No, she cannot get up in that mixer, using that big frame to get so many Ds. Much needed in the midsection of this game. Great coverage upfield. That inside channel working so well with the Spanish. Diane Davis is going to put it up, and that is the gold medal for the Spanish. Emphatic style. They took the lead early. They held on till the bitter end, and look at that celebration. Well deserved, fantastic effort, but goodness gracious me, did the Danes give a good fight.
Women's Masters champions of 2019, Portimao Beach Europeans, the Spanish women's team. Congratulations, ladies. What a fight. What an effort from the Danish. Throws, blocks, layouts all over the place. What a wonderful game.
The Danes chased so hard, Rachel. They had such great form, intensity, but going down those breaks at the beginning, credit to the Spanish. 3 breaks of score as an opener. Hugs all round, smiles all round. What a display of high-level women's ultimate we've had, with the wind having finally arrived here on the beach in Portimao. Looking forward to seeing some highlights now, potentially, as our under the sun, our technology has a little jutter. But that was such a lovely disc from Davis at the end.
Wonderful. Well, like I was going to say with the Dutchmen, the silver will go better with their hair. Not necessarily true for the Dutch team with their golden hair, but I guess it's the golden skin of the Spanish that will go well with their golden medal.
The golden complexion of the Spaniards indeed, and I think the icy ash blondes of the Danes they'll bear that medal, that silver medal, with great style. Really well played. Could not have asked for anything more than a universe point finish to this Women's Masters division. I've been Hannah Pendlebury, joined by Rachel Doshnerova here in the booth in sunny Portimao. Stay tuned for more exciting action here in Praia da Rocha. We'll be bringing you yet another exciting match up next.
There will be a mixed final, master mixed final, Germany against...
well, that's not quite next. You have to wait a little while.
Oh,
that
no,
one
that's
comes
not
at 6:45 local time. So whatever time zone you're currently joining us from, 6:45 is the time to remember for that. We're just about to be handed some ice creams, but 5:15, the next game. So you have a good little while as we get the medal ceremony underway here until the Grandmaster men's final. Great Britain versus Spain. That one is going to be spicy indeed. Great Britain's master men have had such clean offense. Can the Spanish do what their women just did, come out and snag that gold medal? You'll have to wait on this live stream to find out. Join us again for all the action very soon here at the EBUC 2019. We'll see you in a few brief moments.